Welcome back, Elden Ring fans, to another video. In today's video, we actually decided to make a PvP kind of exploration video. You know, it's not exactly telling you really like a guide or anything, but it is a lot of notes, kind of just helping you out whenever it comes to being outnumbered, when it comes to fighting invaders, fighting hosts, fighting 4-man ganks, 3-man ganks, whatever it is. You can use this in when it happens in brawls. You can use this in 6-player brawls in the Colosseums. You can use this in 2v2s. It's all around. So we're going to actually dive straight into this because this is a very good explanation of using a demonstration of using range. So range is typically something you're going to see. You're going to see people use long range weapons, but it's not always about what kind of, you know, like spear ornament you're using or what kind of, you know, it's about tactic. It's about tactic. So I did use the jar cannon to actually separate those two so that whenever the host finally got by himself, I actually got him. Jar cannon is one of my favorite weapons, by the way. You'll see why in this video, this short little video that I took. Each one of these is about a minute long, just because we'll blast through this, give you guys some content. It's kind of funny, but this guy was definitely outnumbering me. I had already killed about 3 other spirits, and I was just tired of fighting him. So at this point, I just waited, and I finally had a little bit of patience, and I had a bit of an idea. In Dark Souls 3, you used to be able to shoot a Millwood Greatbow at your feet, and it would explode the area around you. And luckily, with the jar cannon, there is actually explosive bolts and lightning bolts. And lightning bolts seem to work out better for me, so I use them a lot. So I actually pegged these dudes off the cliff while the other blue got to sit there and watch, and I figured I'd add him along with it, but it didn't turn out that way. So it was still a really nice shot. Got those 2 dudes. But it was more of a tactic. This is really what it's really about. I'm always getting outnumbered, always getting ganked. But with this new update, they have balanced PvP when it comes to damage types for both. You know, an overlevel Phantom's still going to take a lot of damage from me. And a lot of these dudes are overleveled, way overleveled. You know, the host doesn't know what he's doing. He's getting constantly repost right after getting his guard broken. You know, be aggressive. But don't put yourself in a predicament where you will get harmed. Don't be passive, but be aggressive. Be smartly aggressive. Not passive aggressive, smart aggressive. You want to make sure you're doing damage and you're biding your time, but you're also making use of your time. You know, I'm not just sitting in this world forever because I'm not going to sit there and just constantly fight over and over and over again. I say that, but you'll see in another video where I'm just sitting in somebody's world for a long time, but I'm kind of getting them back because they're AFK farming. So these guys just didn't know what they were doing. When it came up to this guy, I invaded this host and his yellow is way over leveled. But the host also was a spell spammer. So of course, I'm not going to go out there and meet them. I did have the urge to go out there and just see if I could peel them apart in a couple hits, which Twin Blades will do that. Twin Blades are fucking nuts in this update. So if you haven't tried out Twin Blades, I do suggest my heavy build that I'm actually using in this whole video. It is my favorite build to PvP with, and it just destroys. So if you guys haven't watched that video yet, it is on my channel. Go check it out. It is a monstrous build, and it will allow you to actually open up your weapons category. You'll be able to test everything you want to while using one similar build that just peels people apart like that poor man. I mean, I'm pretty sure I take out his yellow here somewhere. Yeah, we just go ahead and clap his cheeks. So it's a great build, but speaking of tactic, we're going to go back to this. I'm getting ganked again. Of course, you're going to see this keep recurring. And of course, it's going to reoccur in battle no matter where you go, just because of how FromSoft works with their Elden Ring PvP. So we have spell spammers, right? And I got 3 dudes, and I'm out in the open. Well, I make a quick decision here. You see this little gap? I instantly make that decision to narrow them down. And like fools, they're not thinking because they're rushing ahead. They actually just funnel in one at a time. And this allows me to get a bit of a read on what I can do to get to the host. You know, I wind up taking out this other yellow who's low on health just because I'm not exactly happy that they're trying to gank me, so screw them. And then I wind up almost taking this dude out. He would have been very dead. I would have definitely gotten that kill. Maybe he would have hit me. It didn't matter, but I still got the win. And that's what's fun about it. That's what's important about it. But especially when you're getting ganked, make sure you're staying and remaining calm, because if you don't, and you make just decisions, you start panic rolling, a lot of people do that, you're going to wind up having these issues where you're not making decisive decisions that are able to help you in battle, because this is battle. You see, there's this host who has been sitting in the Hallig Tree area in this video where he's just letting this other yellow kind of just kill everything for him, which is a common thing. But this yellow also wasn't very smart and decided to climb the ladder, didn't know where I was shooting from, and I was able to hit him, and it was really funny. So I actually got to go meet the host and melt him down afterwards, because the host on his own didn't know what to do. He was very bad. It felt like somebody else was playing the game for him. And it's not that I'm dissing on the guy. It's just that's how it winds up being a lot of the time. Most of the time when you like play in duels and stuff like that, it's people mashing AoE spells. But when it comes to true skill and even with accuracy and stuff like that, you find people who are just oblivious to what they're doing and wind up making small minor mistakes, which is what this video is trying to stop people from doing. So I'm actually a red in this world, and this guy has been I've been in this world for like 3 hours. There was a dude AFK farming, and I decided I'm going to put a stop to it. So I actually sat in this world for a while, a really long while, like I said, 3 hours, but I was making sure that none of the reds got killed, and I would just sit there with the blues and goof off with them. They kind of understood what I was doing, and they decided to actually help me out. So blues are not always your enemy. If you can make friends with people, even if it's to turn against them later on, which is not a bad idea, but it is not exactly a nice thing to do, but it is a smart thing to do. You know, I could have taken this guy on and not learned any of his weapons, but no, I made friends with him, and I learned that he was using dual twin blades. So eventually we chose to fight, and he did die. This red, you can't always trust reds. Of course, you probably already learned this, but this red was stupid. I think he was a bit of an idiot in my opinion. He was just very aggro. I guess he just wanted out of the world, but he couldn't even wield the weapon he was using while he was also still bleeding me. And I took out a weapon eventually to kind of put a barrier between us to stop him from attacking me, because I think he knew what he was doing, but I was trying to show him I wasn't going to take it. So I wanted to stay in this world as long as possible to stop this dude from AFK farming, and eventually I do snipe him through the building. There's something called Golem's arrows on a Golem bow. You can actually farm for those arrows. There's magic types. You can actually get those arrows, and they will pierce through walls with an AoE, but they don't go all the way through. You know, it's just an AoE blast. So you might get lucky, and I luckily hit the host in the head and killed him, and it was spectacular. But like I said, and it's actually this shot, so there are a lot of people doing this, and it's kind of scummy, but that dude's Xbox is just gonna melt and get the red ring of death because he's sitting there keeping it on all night while people are sitting here playing the game thinking he's gonna make some souls. And I hope I ruined his day, because fuck that guy. Fuck AFK farmers. You guys are pussies. So anyway, it was a lot of fun. Just some shit throwing at the community. But there's a lot of aspect that you have to take. You don't want to give up all the time, because you might actually give up and screw over another red, or wind up missing out on a good battle, or just some regular old fun. And like this guy, you know, I had eventually pinned down where he was because I shot him with a jar cannon, and he's still AFK. And I was trying to figure out if he was on which side of the wall, and I actually got a perfect headshot, and it did clap him and do that much damage. It was insane. This build does do a lot of damage. I do recommend this heavy build. But we're going to actually end this video here with this last clip. Learning how to use enemies to your advantage so that you can actually separate people, but learning to just take out groups when you have to, not always spamming AoEs, knowing when to get back and heal. It's a very, very good thing to learn. So definitely take some notes from this video. Hopefully it helps you guys out, and you guys have a really good one, guys. I'll leave you guys to it. Have fun.